Oh, by the way, I'm Van White, one of the members of the Backyard Carpenter, and that was James White inside. So, I forgot to introduce myself. We've been watching this guy from Missouri, and we're still wondering who he is because he don't ever introduce himself. So what I'm getting ready to do is I put a screw on the deck right there, right? And I've got my bright yellow twine that I'm going to go around, and that's going to show me where I got to put these posts. Right, so the halfway point on the 14-foot side and the halfway point on the 16.5 side, whatever that is. Here we go. Alright, I got my string hung all the way around, okay, and now it's a matter of finding the halfway point, this side, that side, and on that side, three sides. Then after I get these three posts planted, then the fourth post in the middle will be, I'll have to do a string to show me where it's going to go in the middle. So, alright, doing a measure at 7 feet. So that's where my first, ow, that's where my first post is going to go. That hurt. Oh damn, it just broke my wrist. I put a peg, stake, whatever you want to call it, right there to move the string back out of my way. That is where I'm actually going to dig the hole. But I needed the string to get out of my way so I won't break it as I come down. Now I got to find my dirt bucket. This is my dirt bucket. And so what it is the topsoil that's in that hole I'm putting in the bucket because we're trying to get grass growing over that blank spot over there. Okay, so this is my dirt bucket with just the topsoil because I'll eventually hit the red clay that looks like that. I want the red clay. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, I got myself, I think, all set up. I got my hole down 24 feet. 24 inches, 2 feet. I got my 4x4. Alright, now it's a matter of putting the 4x4, and it has to be up against this string, but not bending the string out of the way, okay? So she looks pretty good right there. So I'm going to go ahead and pour. I've already got a bag of concrete. Remember, I'm only going to use 25 pounds of this 50 pounds and pour it in the hole. I just poured enough concrete in the hole right now just to be able to hold it in place while I'm making adjustments. Right. Now I also need to see if I'm plumb on two sides. And I'm starting to feel a little bit of rain. So I gotta go get a pounder stick. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got my pounder stick now, and I hate to leave you guys, but I'm starting to feel a little bit of rain. And my camera can't get wet. This segment of this video is called What Not to Do. Alright, what happened here is, if I go back here, you can kind of see that the center post is kind of leaning toward a piece. What happened is I did not make my hole big enough to compensate for leaning it up against the string. See, I got to have it up against the string to line up with the other post. Alright, so because I didn't make my hole wide enough, I'd already poured the concrete in it, and there's nothing I could do but plumb it up from this side to that side. Alright, so what I did on the next post is I made my hole big enough so it's touching, see, it's just touching the line, alright, and it's plumb that way and that way and this way and that way. So now I'm headed to the third, and all that stake right there is just to move the string out of my way so I won't hit it. So we always like to tell about a mistake so you won't do it. So whenever you're planting posts like this, by the way, this is 6-footers, not 8-footers, and they were a little reasonably priced. But anyway, so you'll know, make your hole a little bigger. So that's what I did on that one. All right, so it's now a little bigger, and it worked perfect. More. A segment of what not to do. Anyway, this point from here to there, outside a 4x4 to outside 4x4 is 14. One thinking, tired, heat stroke, whatever. But anyway, the halfway point for there to there and there to there is 8 feet 2.5 inches. So guess what I did? I put this post, which is supposed to be at 7, at 8 feet 2.5 inches. So to the center. All right. So what I've had to do is make up the difference to it, and went out 2.5 inches for my string, and the center string is to show me where the post is going to go. All right. So what I've done is I've sprayed where I'm going to start digging my post, and these 2 pegs or just to move the string out of the way so I can start digging. All right, so this is what not to do is, I don't know, take your time. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did 8-2 when it's supposed to be just an even 7. But so the question that comes to mind is, why are we looking at a square hole and why are we looking at a round hole? The reason is, I just couldn't handle that I was a foot and 2 inches off from where it needed to be. So I made a mark on my string at 7 feet, okay? So that I'll know on the edge, see, because over there I got the string on that edge. So this represents the edge of the 4x4. So I'm going to have to use the last little bit of that bag for this hole, and we'll just put a lot of dirt in that hole. Oh, excuse me, not COVID, just cough. Anyway, so I just couldn't stand it. I wasn't going to be in line, so I had to dig a new hole. That's when we have a square hole and a round hole. What not to do.
So here we have the rest of the 4x4s in the ground now for the deck, or the addition to the deck. Van used the string to show him where the intersection will go for that center post, and everything else is in the ground where it needs to be. They're 2 feet down in the ground. I'm not sure the next part. I guess it's the joists. I don't know. Who knows? I know nothing. I'm just the helper and the videographer and the painter and the caulker. But I can visualize it now. He's already talking about putting a roof on it, but we'll see about that when it gets done. But it's looking great. And of course, there's the shop. See? This is what I worked on today. I got 2 coats of satin varnish or polyurethane on the ends of these church pews. If you remember a few weeks ago, Van had put this monstrosity of a church pew on the back of his truck, and I was surprised it didn't fall off in the middle of the road on his way home. It weighed about a ton. So we've cut it down to 4 feet. I'm going to reupholster it, put it inside the little house in the spare bedroom, which is Christopher's Alabama room, as I'm calling it. So this was really the easy part. Next we'll be putting it back together again and upholstering it. Should be fun.
Oh, it stinks. It stinks back here.
It's you.
No. Christopher set up one of those fly traps that smells like the worst dead fish you can possibly think of, but
It works.
it works. It looks like it's probably got 20,000 flies in it, but there's still flies going around. Anyway, I'm Van.
I'm Jane.
We're known as the Backyard Carpenters.
Baby boomers can do, and
Wait.
we have done.
Yeah, so we've been watching this guy from Missouri building a log cabin, and he doesn't ever introduce himself and really doesn't. So we're going to try to explain to y'all exactly what we're doing. James already explained that I laid out these strings. I explained to you how I made a mistake, had to move the pole over. That's why I had a square and a round hole. But everything's now lined up, and some of the string actually it represents the height of the deck. All right, so that's how you can see how many feet got to be cut off from each full before. So believe it or not, the next thing we're actually going to do is move that piece of furniture out of the way, and we're actually going to start removing that railing, and we're going to start lifting up every other board and cut them off.
Yay.
And we have to do that before we do anything else, so just in case it doesn't get in our way.
Oh, sorry.
There she is.
Sorry.
My lovely wife. Birthday's coming up.
Oh,
Yes,
boy.
it is.
Oh, boy.
She's going to be about 37.
That's right.
All right, so we'll talk to you guys later. I don't know when we're going to be back here.
Probably Thursday or Friday.
Thursday or Friday, but anyway, we'll see you later.
See ya.